Saturday, 10:30, Vishnu Sahasranam, the meaning and interpretation in depth. And today is the eclipse day. What better day to speak about the importance of this important literature. See, in Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam itself is Krishna. Krishneshwa dhamopagate dharma jnanadibhi saha kalau nashtam drisham mesha puranarko adunodita. So after Krishna left, personally, when he was performing his pastimes, and then after that he left. So that was the beginning of Kali Yuga. After Krishna left, Dwapara Yuga left, and then the Kali Yuga symptoms started happening. And when Krishna left, dharma and religiosity and dharma and jnana, knowledge, also left along with Krishna. Then this Srimad Bhagavatam arose, right? So let us remember that before this Srimad Bhagavatam arose to dispel the darkness of illusion of materialistic people, materialistic mentality of human beings, Vyasadeva had attempted writing Mahabharata, writing the Vedas. So we need to little bit rewind the historical importance of Vyasadeva's contributions. See, Mahabharata was a literature that Vyasadeva wrote to save humanity from going down to hell, because he witnessed the degradation. As Srimad Bhagavatam says, in Kali Yuga, manda sumanda matayo manda bahagyahi upadrita. So the people of this age of Kali Yuga, they are very less intelligent, they are dumb, they are lame, they are lazy. And therefore, all these symptoms of Kali Yuga are very scary. I mean, we all don't even have a little bit of taste of how degrading Kali Yuga is becoming. Now, Vyasadeva, when he composed Mahabharata is 1 lakh verses, okay? And he actually composed that for even the most fallen of the people, especially for the manda sumanda matayo manda bhagyahi upadrita. He wanted to save humanity, right? And actually, by reciting those 1 lakh verses, every purpose of human existence is achieved. That was Vyasadeva's intention. Of course, we know that Narada Muni appears and Vyasadeva expresses his dissatisfaction. Why was the dissatisfaction? So let's rewind and go back to that incident. Now, Vyasadeva, when he composed Mahabharata, we need to understand that there are 3 interpretations of Mahabharata. Okay, the first interpretation of Mahabharata is historical. The historical interpretation is understanding the whole storyline, right? If you watched Mahabharata episodes, it starts with Satyavati and Shantanu, right? That's how the whole Ganga story begins. So the historical importance is very relevant for humankind to understand what happened, okay? If you want to understand the historical importance of historical depth, you have to study the whole Mahabharata. There is no other escape. But now Vyasadeva, as he's very, very expert in always giving us the capsule form of knowledge. Sorry, just give me a second. I'm going to turn off this fan, which is making a lot of noise. So the first is the historical interpretation of Mahabharata. And then Vyasadeva gave us easier things. What are the 2 easier things? One is Vishnu Sahasranam and one is Bhagavad Gita. So there is a second interpretation. What's the second interpretation? Is a psychological interpretation. And Vyasadeva, being very kind, there is the whole Bhagavad Gita, right? It's like the crest jewel. So understanding Bhagavad Gita gives us the importance of the psychological interpretation of Mahabharata is through Gita. You want to understand the psychological interpretation, listen to the Gita. The whole thing is there. We are studying the first chapter, right? There's so much psychology there. How Duryodhana is thinking, how Arjuna is feeling, how Krishna is trying to act in this situation, how there are all these great Yudha Manyuscha Vikranta, Uttamaujoscha Viryavan, Kurujit Puntibojascha, Shaibhyascha Narapungavaha. So many best among the men have all assembled on the battlefield, right? And they are all very equipped, right? Very, very equipped with their skills and their weapons and everything. So Bhagavad Gita gives us the whole best psychological interpretation of whole Mahabharata. There was a foreign psychologist, very, very famous author and psychologist, and one of our Hindu persons, one of my relative, who was very successful in software, etc., who born Brahmana and becoming a Shudra. Engineers are Shudras, basically. So it becomes a Shudra, and they went to do something in this particular clinic, psychology clinic. And this person, relative of mine, they studied Bhagavad Gita, Vishnu Sahasranam, by just they know it. They know it by memory, by heart. And they're very well off materially, etc. So when they went to the psychologist's place, he saw Bhagavad Gita, picture of Bhagavad Gita painting on the office of this psychologist. And then he very, very frankly, very honestly, I asked, like, why do you have Bhagavad Gita? He was thinking, what does this foreigner know anyway about religion or whatever? See, in India, we have a tendency, we do shlokas, mantras, we go to temple, we do like this, right? It's literally, we do like this, like this, like this. So there are some customs and rituals which is supposed to be, Shantam, Papam, whatever, Krishna, Rama, Durga, Govinda, Hanuman, all the things, we do like that. It's like, I don't know, in Kannada, we say, Kenne Tatkondo. Kenne Tattkolodu. Bhagavad Gita is not a Kenne Tattkolodu verse. It's not. It's a deep psychological analysis. So this guy, the foreign famous author, he told this successful software relative of mine, he said, well, this is the origin, the source of all psychology. We are only stealing the knowledge. This is just everything Krishna spoke to Arjuna. That's the whole gist of psychology. And, whatever it is from there. So that's my inspiration. When I look at it, I know that it is, the origin is that. And this relative of mine was very shocked. This person is not even devotee or anything, the psychologist. He's just a mundane psychology guy, but they understood that there is a psychological interpretation of whole human existence, that the solution of, if you are depressed, if you are angry, if you are fearful, if you're resentful, whatever, you're hankering, you're lamenting, name the emotion, right? Bhagavad Gita has a solution for it. And some of these karmis, they know better than us. Now, I must say also, like, how many of my relatives, okay, I come from a Brahmana, Madhva family. I hope nobody watches this video among them, or maybe they should, I don't know. They are very fortunate because we are born with this culture. When my cousin was conceived while chanting Vishnu Sahasranam, born. And like my my parents conceived me while reciting mantras, things like that. Okay, we're so fortunate to be given this opportunity, but it does not mean that people will take advantage. So many of my cousins, they learned verses, they know things, but they're out there serving some Malaysia guy, working under them, coding, programming, and making their living. Of course, Gita and Vishnu Sahasranam, all this religious vibration, etc. Definitely, they have blocks opened up, meaning they don't have sinful problems, sinful mentality to, let's say, that kind of drinking or, whatever, gambling. They don't have those, okay? The piety is there. At the same time, there is also the, you can say the health-wise, chakra-wise, memory-wise, there are many advantages that because of their childhood samskaras and this kind of sadhana, which was not done for Krishna consciousness, but it was done for dharma, artha, kama, moksha type of a thing. But when I see in my professional life, I have seen as an astrologer, I've been doing astrology for many years. My family come in the line of disciplic succession. My astrology guru's father was the guru of my grandfather, astrology guru of the grandfather. So, I come in the line of Sri Vaishnava line of disciplic succession, and it's not about theory. It's all about mantras and siddhi, helping individuals according to their nature. And I have seen so many times devotees, right? They become Hare Krishna devotees. They come to the moment of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, mercy of Srila Prabhupada, etc. But so many problems. And I feel jealous about some of my relatives because I see the contrast, right? I come from there, but I don't belong there. You understand? You're my family, devotees. Prabhupada's family is my family. And I have clients who are all Prabhupada disciples and Prabhupada followers, right? When I look at their lifestyle, even like recently, I spoke with one Prabhupada disciple, old elderly lady, like that. And this person was expressing certain psychological blocks. And I was just thinking, I wish this could do Vishnu Sahasranam and get rid of that. Because somehow or another, as even we are devotees, because of that little bit of lack of samskaras and lack of that purity and lack of that empowerment, somehow or another, sometimes even devotees, especially Western devotees, because there is a little bit more contamination, there is a little bit more exposure to Kali Yuga things, there is less, we are not taking advantage. No, we as devotees were supposed to take full advantage. So that was one of the reasons that I decided, when we read from Rupa Goswami about offenses and this and that, I thought, wow, when we make sins or offenses, just that mentality itself causes us so many blocks in life. It's not that something will happen. The sin mentality, the sinful mentality itself is such a block. The negative mindset, depressive mindset itself is such a curse. Something else doesn't need to happen. We are bringing ourselves down. So on this eclipse day, I really want to, welcome you all to join in this attempt of becoming very serious in our Krishna consciousness. And, Vyasadeva wanted 1 lakh verses to be recited. And people are like, I don't have time, right? So basically, when we say I don't have time, it means I don't have a heart to do it. I don't have a heart. We may say, no, I have heart, but I don't have time. Basically, it means we don't have the heart to do it. So 1 lakh verses, it's difficult, right? Don't know, we can't read it. But at least Gita, at least Vishnu Sahasranam. Vishnu Sahasranam literally takes 20 minutes. If you learn it, you'll take only 20 minutes. These will give us enough energy, enough good health, enough mental focus to practice Krishna consciousness to the best ability, to remove all these karmic thing. Like we brush our teeth. We don't say, I don't want to waste my time brushing teeth. I don't want to take shower. It's too much. What do you say? It's too much a waste of time. We do it. So the two meanings, going back. First is historical significance. Second is psychological interpretation of Mahabharata is Gita. Then the third is the spiritual significance of Mahabharata. What is Vishnu Sahasranam? It is known by the scriptures that Vishnu Sahasranam is actually a summary of Mahabharata. And you really scratch your head. There's not even one word called Pandava or Kaurava in the whole Vishnu Sahasranam. Why is it a summary? How can it be a summary? And this is my favorite part, right? Why Vishnu Sahasranam is the spiritual summary, spiritual interpretation of Mahabharata is because Kauravas lost Mahabharata war, right? Is that the point? No. Pandavas won the Mahabharata war. Is that the point? No. Both Kauravas and Pandavas met on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. They wanted to fight. They wanted to destroy each other. And somebody won, somebody lost. But the point is, Kauravas lost because Krishna was not on their side. So Krishna is the point. Pandavas won is not the point. Krishna was with the Pandavas and therefore Pandavas won. Krishna is the point. So the spiritual interpretation of Mahabharata is in Vishnu Sahasranam because every single word is the name of Krishna. Every single word. So it's not Pandavas winning and Kauravas losing. It's not about how many arrows Arjuna shot and how many Bhishma shot. And it's not about how many army men Duryodhan had and how less Pandavas had. Those things didn't matter. So the spiritual interpretation is Krishna, 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 Krishna. That's the interpretation, spiritual interpretation of Mahabharata. And that's the very reason that Narad Muni encouraged Vyasadeva to express that Krishna, 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 Krishna conclusion through Srimad Bhagavatam. Now, many of us are not, even qualified to be coming in touch with Srimad Bhagavatam. Right in the beginning verses, Paramo Nirmatsaranam Satam. So in order to even touch Srimad Bhagavatam, in order to really benefit from Srimad Bhagavatam, we need to be free from envy. Because people who are envious, we cannot get the Srimad Bhagavatam revealed to us. And there is so much how do you call it, knowledge, but Bhagavatam is beyond knowledge, right? It's kaitavo, it's actually rejecting the materialistic religious way of thinking. Srimad Bhagavatam is not even the, like I said, oh, Srimad Bhagavatam is not. This is much beyond just slapping our cheeks and saying this is Srimad Bhagavatam. Yeah, do like this. No, it's about getting love of God. It's about understanding that depth and qualities of Krishna and his devotees. Okay, so this is very important to understand. Now we will start the verses today. I wrote this whole book. Finally, I'm showing you my book. This book I wrote, okay? It's called Nakshatras. So this is the psychology, the nakshatra psychology is here in this book, and the Vishnu Sahasranam verse, why that specific name is meant for that specific nakshatra, and how it dissolves the karmic ties, and we become liberated from karmic ties. Because there are certain thought patterns, there are certain behaviors, certain views, certain experiences, and we become limited and get tied by that. And as soon as we are tied, we cannot escape from its influence. So even if we are studying Srimad Bhagavatam, because of, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, because of certain anarthas, those anarthas become even more by chanting Hare Krishna. People become even more proud by giving Bhagavatam classes if we don't work on those primary karmic ties. Okay, so last time we touched upon Yudhishthir Maharaj's 6 questions to Bhishma and what Bhishma told. And so today we will start with the verses and some of the meaning. When greatly exalted personalities like Mahajans, right? Bhishma is a Mahajan. So when they act, they always achieve various goals with one deed, because Krishna is like that. And when Yudhishthira Maharaj asks Bhishma for advice, Bhishma Dev's response to the questions was perfect. It was, every word glorification of Krishna, and at the same time, there was a powerful hidden capsule not just glorification, spiritual potency to purify minds of people according to their nature. So this is what great personalities do. That's why we rely on Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy. Just in the association of devotees, that chidranti, like the knot which is in our heart, can get immediately dissolved. Whereas many lifetimes alone, we can be stuck. Like Bharat Maharaj is an example in Srimad Bhagavatam. Without the association of devotees, he got attached to a deer, right? So that's why association of devotees, chanting the holy names, chanting Vishnu Sahasranam in the association of devotees is even more glorified. So Bhishma Dev composes pray. This is a prayer. This Vishnu Sahasranam is a prayer, is a way of glorifying the Lord in the form of a prayer, very expertly composed. 108 verses. There are 4 verses which are connected to each of the 27 nakshatras. And you all have your own nakshatra. And you all are influenced. We all have different natures. And so today we'll begin with number 1. Let me just start the screen share. Because from now on, when you will read this, when we are reading this every day, we will remember. I want some of the artists in our group to prepare like maybe one picture per verse, some picture that you can remember. When we will explain the verse today, we should have one picture, and we will have it in our group. and we can actually look at it and remember. That's because I have a vision. When I read these verses, I get some visions of certain pastimes, qualities, but we should make it easy for all of us. So the first verse. Any questions so far before we start with the translation of the verses? Okay, I see some comments. Oh, okay. You know, in the Mahabharata, no, Vyasadeva actually says how much the sins can prevent us from going close to Krishna, and how Kali Yuga sometimes degrades us and people become more and more attached to just making money. People just live to make money, and then they waste that money on sense gratification. That sense gratification makes them sick in their mind, in their body. They become so like miserable. They cannot enjoy anymore, and their mind is crazy. They become depressed. They become, all that. And he's very concerned when he's composing Mahabharata. He's actually saying, let's learn from the Kauravas and Pandavas how when Krishna is present, how things can change. When Krishna is not present, how things can happen. See, so I mean, like I'm saying, one of the Vaishnava acharyas who comments the Madhva saints, Madhvacharya also comments. The commentary on Mahabharata of Madhvacharya is far out, just far out. He's Hanuman himself. So imagine when he comments on Mahabharata. So he says, like, make time to chant these names of Krishna. Make time, because with that your time will expand. Like Hare Krishna, when we chant our rounds, the day feels bigger, longer, positive. So it's the point. Let's see if any other comments before I go ahead. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I am just tired. In my own professional life, I'm tired seeing devotees suffering so much. And when I tell them, read, chant Vishnu Sahasranam, that's usually the remedy I give them. I also give some individualized, but this is the best. People don't make time. And then I see them years later coming back, problems increased, and because they went by the mind. But you see the impact. Those of you who are attending every day, you can feel it. I totally feel that, burning of mentalities to waste time, burning of mentalities, sinful tendencies, because more and more the strength comes. And then I'm more inspired now to do Krishna conscious projects. All right. So the first verse is Vishwam Vishnur Vashatkaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu Bhutakrit Bhutavrit Bhavo Bhutatma Bhuta Bhavanaha. So Vishwam is Krishna who enters everything. He's everywhere. Okay, so let's find some nice picture for this. When you're reading this verse, it's this universe. Imagine this universe. Krishna has entered everywhere. He's everywhere. And then he pervades everything. Vashatkara means he who is worshipped by sacrifices. Vashatkaraha. Then Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu means he's not only like a boss or a master of all the created beings and that are existing and will exist. He's permanently the master and the creator and the eternal father, not only, but he also is a caretaker. He takes care of every jiva. He makes sure that there's progression. Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. Beautiful, no? See, that's Krishna. He doesn't just enter, he doesn't just boss over, he doesn't just own, he doesn't just create, but he also makes sure that people are taken care. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 10 subjects. There is sthanam and there is poshanam. So sthanam is the maintenance of the universe. So he's maintaining the universe. Poshanam means nourishment. And our Vaishnava acharyas describe that, sthanam he is doing all the time. I mean, he's maintaining ants and elephants and everybody is maintaining. But poshanam, the nourishment, is especially giving to the devotees. Even one time, we tell Krishna, I have this prayer here, it's my favorite prayer from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Krishna Tomara. Krishna Tomara Hana Yadi Bale Ekabara Maya Banda Haite Krishna Tare Kare Para. Even once, when we declare to Krishna, Krishna, I'm yours, Poshanam will begin. It's like just like a plant will become beautifully nourished, we will become beautifully nourished. Okay, so he's Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. He maintains and takes care. Bhutakrit Bhutavrit Bhavo means, Bhutakrit means he produces the elements. He's the one who has given all the raw materials. Bhutabrit means doesn't just produce and then leave it there. He also maintains, he takes care, he supports those elements. When we say elements, of course, we need to go to Bhagavad Gita, understand more about that, but we'll go little quickly today. But remember, Bhutakrit, Bhutabrit. Bhutakrit means he creates the elements. Bhutabrit means he also maintains and supports those elements. Then Bhutatma. What is Bhutatma? Atma, we are Atma. He's Paramatma. So he's Bhutatma. He's the cause of everything, spiritual and material. Everything. He's the cause. So Bhutatma means he's the cause. Then Bhuta Bhavanaha. He brings into existence all the living beings. Because it's not just, he just makes, we are not robots, in other words. He brings us to life. Okay, so that's the first verse. This is Vishwarupa form. So I mean, that this picture doesn't give me this part, but yeah, maybe all pervading, because Vishwarupa is all pervading. That can be a good picture. And he's the master of all living beings. He supports the elements. He causes everything material and spiritual. He can for now, okay, until anybody else comes up with a good idea. Look at this picture Rajeshwari Radhika Mataji has posted. This has elements. You see, all the planets are there. Krishna can pervade. Of course, these names are beyond Vishwarupa. This Vishwarupa form of the Lord is material, by the way. It is described in Bhagavatam that this is a material form of the Lord. So here what we are, these names are spiritual. So is a little bit more like this picture multiplied by to the power of n. Okay, we'll take it like that. Multiply this. He's all pervading. Okay, now in order to increase the thirst for the qualities of the Lord and his powers, Bhishma first recites these verses that are understandable. So first verse is speaking about how the Lord is most powerful, he's all pervading. So we start these mantras with the Om, right? Om is Krishna. So Vishmadev starts with that word. That's the first word. So that it's like a stotra. So it's like a prayer. So it's a prayer. By the way, it's originally Vyasadeva and Bhishmadev is quoting it, just if you have any confusion on that. So each name, it has a namaha. As you can see, always we have that namaha will come there. Bhavaha, namaha. So that's like pranama. It's like preparatory rite. Okay. Then, okay, words here like Vishwa, they are not used as okay, in Sanskrit. Anyway, I don't know how much you want to get into that kind of grammatical thing. It's not feminine, it's not masculine. These are neutral, but it's clearly understood that it's referred to the Lord. Vishwam Vishnur Vashatkar. It's referred to the Lord, although it's not very masculine or feminine. It's modified. So he himself enters into Vish means to enter. And he's Vishnu that all pervades all the things. Okay. Okay, let's see what else. I mean, there are so many things here, but the prayer is as follows. Let me offer my respectful obeisances to the Supreme Personality of Godhead who pervades the entire universe. He is worshipped in the Vedic sacrifices. He is eternally the supreme controller in all phases of time, including past, present, and future. He is the creator of cosmic manifestation and he maintains it as well. He is the master of all spiritual and material potencies, and he is the creator of all living entities and well-wisher who promotes their welfare. To that Lord, I take shelter and I surrender. Okay, beautiful. Next, Bhutatma Paramatma cha Muktanam Paramagatihi. Avyaya Purusha Sakshi Kshetra Gnokshara Evacha. Many of these words you'll find it in Gita also. Some words like that. You should remember those words. So Putatma, Puta Atma means he's pure in all conditions. And Paramatma means he is of the highest power, highest beauty, highest prosperity. There's nothing more, somebody more than. Muktatma Paramagati. Also he is liberated. And because he's the only eternally liberated, he can give us the highest goal of liberation to all the conditioned souls. And he's the only one who can do it. Okay. Muktatma Paramagatihi. Muktanam Paramagatihi means he can give us liberation to the conditioned souls, which means when we take shelter of this name, just this Muktanam Paramagatihi, by just saying that one who is giving that minute itself, you can be liberated from your fears, from your guilt, from your shame. In the end of this book, for those of you who may come to Mayapur and you want a copy or something, you let me know. In the end of this book, I have written, there are different issues. Like when you have, let me see, like for example, anger. If somebody has anger issues specifically, there is this Suvrita Sumukha Sukshma Sugosha Sugata Suhrit Manoharo Jita Krodo Veera Bahur Vidharanaha. This mantra, it keeps anger at bay. So like that, every mantra, it has a specific meaning. It has a specific, every mantra is a specific remedy for a specific material emotion or health issue or economy or, progeny, everything. It's amazing. So this verse, Putatma Paramatma Cha Muktanam Paramagatihi, he is, whenever we feel stuck, whenever I feel, I cannot able to get out of this fear, I'm not feeling liberated by this, whatever the relationship or a particular job or a particular situation is trapping me, when we remember this verse, Putatma Paramatma Cha Muktanam Paramagatihi, when we remember that verse, immediately he can liberate us from that fear, from that situation. Immediately he can cut it. Okay. I mean, yeah. Then Avyaya means he, in material relationships, right? Even if we are twins, even if you're a twin sister, like Snehavati has a twin sister. She's a twin. Or Tikaya and Khushbu, your sisters, you see, they're sitting together right there. So we are Avyaya. Vyaya means we disappear. Sometimes, maybe when Khushbu goes to college, Trikaya goes to her studies, and it's not like you can't always be there. Sometimes we have to disappear, right? But Krishna, being this Muktanam Paramagatihi, who is capable of giving us the liberation, who is seated in our heart, he never disappears. He never goes away to college. He never goes away to the bathroom. He never goes anywhere. He's constantly present. He never disappears. Avyaya. Okay, Avyaya. Never goes away. Never disappears. Then Purusha means he gives result to the liberated souls. Purusha is not random. Anybody is not going to give happiness to Tom, Dick, and Harry. Put the Tom, Dick, and Harry through the process of purification. But if somebody is when somebody is on the path of perfection, then he can tell them, oh, here, it's faster, it's sooner. Sakshi. So again, he witnesses everything. So he is Avyaya and he is Sakshi. Sakshi Gopal, remember? Sakshi Gopal. So that Sakshi Gopal is present in your heart also. In each of our heart, there is a little Sakshi Gopal. He's witnessing everything. Then he's also Kshetragna, because he knows all the bodies. Is the Paramatma sitting in your heart? There's Paramatma sitting in her heart, Paramatma in his heart, and he's Kshetragna. He knows what is going on in my body, is what is going on in her body, and Paramatma in my body knows what's going on in the body of another person. So that level of awareness is called Kshetragna, knower of all the bodies. Akshara, he's never deprived of his form and qualities. Kshetrajnokshara. It becomes a sandhi here. He's a Kshetrajna and he's Akshara. So together it becomes Kshetragnokshara. When Sandhi, you remember, right? You all studied Sandhis. The English people never studied Sandhis. Only Sandhis is only for those of us who studied Sanskrit, studied Hindi, studied maybe Bengali, maybe any of our Indian languages, we study Sandhis. So these are two words that come together. Kshetragna and Akshara come together and become Kshetragnokshara. So Akshara he's never deprived of his form and qualities. So wonderful. This Kshetragnokshara is such an amazing name of Krishna. Means he knows what's going on in Trikaya's mind. He knows what's going on in my mind. He's still never disconnected from his form and his quality. Let's say there is two individuals who are having completely different opinions, and both of them have completely opposition ideas or conflictual ideas, and Krishna knows what's going on there and he knows what's going on here. Still he can maintain his own form and qualities. He will never get perturbed by the disturbance. I mean, it's with a heavy heart I say this. That's why Mahaprabhu is our saving grace. In right now in Palestine, what's going on? The kids are being murdered and so much death. It's so crazy. It's so hard to process what's going on, right? Like how? So when we ask, how can the Lord let this happen? How is he letting it happen? Because he's Atma Rama. He is separated. At the same time, he's also present in their minds and their bodies. So he knows that there's suffering. He can see, right? But he's not suffering. See what I mean? He doesn't get touched by the suffering, but he is there. He is doing what, so our Jiva Goswami, that's why he says, Namo Mahavadanyaya. Mahaprabhu is Mahavadanyaya. You know why? Because he knows the pain. He experiences the pain of separation. As Krishna, what he is? He is fully self-realized, full Atma Rama, Ananda Ramana, Atma Rama, Ananda Ramana. He's always blissful. He knows, but he's not touched by it. But whereas Mahaprabhu, he knows the suffering of the jivas. So that's why when we take shelter of Mahaprabhu, even the most impossible things can become possible. But if we forget Mahaprabhu, even the easy things will become very difficult. No doubt in that. So basically, this verse, we need a picture. Somebody, Rajeshwari Radhika Mataji did a good job. She gave us one photo for the first verse. Second verse, we need a photo. Somebody look for it. Basically, Krishna is devoid of any material contamination, although he creates this world, Putatma. He's the Putatma, right? He's the purest one. He remains pure in all conditions. Putatma means he creates, but he remains pure. He sees, but he doesn't suffer. Okay, so very, very distinct thing of even in the material body, which you can say contaminated. Our Vaishnava Acharya sings, Muttininna bhajisalare kettanara janmadavanu Muttininna bhajisalare kettanara janmadavanu Dutta karya madidagyu Shishtanage kayya pidido. Says this human form of life is so abominable in one sense because I can't touch you and worship you. At the same time, the same human form of body is my only shelter to chant your holy names and reach you. So it's like, Krishna, I can't touch you because of this Nara Janma, right? Because of this human, in this human form. We can't touch Krishna. We can't. That's why we need to go back to Godhead with a spiritual body. We can't muttininna bhajisalare ketta nara janmadavan. So until and unless I'm bound by this material thinking, material body, I can't touch you, my dear Krishna. And Krishna is Putatma. He creates. He's there in our heart, but he's untouched. Okay, let's see who posted a photo. Again, Rajeshwari Radhika Mataji. Other people also should work hard. Oh, I like this picture. It's perfect, actually. It's perfect. Because it represents 3 points here. He looks like exactly like Paramatma description. right? He looks like, and he also is looking with full effulgence, full opulence, and he is looking exactly like remains pure in all conditions. Good picture. Mataji, please save all these pictures. Now, so Krishna is endowed with all the highest qualities, right? Eternal beauty, prosperity, and he's a supreme attainment. Like, we've been Brahma, Bhuvanala, Aloka, Punaravartino Arjuna, we have been in this life. We've been a man, we've been an animal, we've been a demigod, we've been going up and down and up and down and up and down, self-will, right? But here, finally, the word Parama indicates that Krishna is endowed with that greatest beauty in his form because of his eternal powers. And we, the jivas, he is that goal for these jivas, and we can become free by performing the sadhana. Okay. Anyway, this is all like commentary, different acharya commentary, but let's read the prayer. Prayer is basically the summary of those meanings, okay? Lord Krishna is supremely pure, and he is the supreme soul. He's ultimate goal and destination of the liberated souls. He is the eternal supreme person, and he is the witness of everything, and he knows what happens to all living entities. And Krishna is infallible. So to that supreme personality, let us pay our obeisances and invoke his presence in our life. Okay, next. Yogo yoga vidamnetha pradhana purusheshwaraha Narasimhavapu Shriman Keshava Purushottama. By the way, notice that in Purushottama comes twice. Once it comes Purusattama. This is Purushottama, like Purushottam month, this is Purushottama. In another place in Vishnu Sahasranam later, it comes Purusattama. So there is difference. We will study the meaning difference later. I mean, there is some more commentary about the previous verse, but basically the conclusion of the previous verse is he is never deprived of his own bliss and his qualities, and he's never touched by bad karma and good karma, even though he's in every individual. So that's why he's called the knower of the field. Mahabharata actually says that. You want to know that verse? This is a Mahabharata verse. Sorry, this is still about Bhutatma Paramatma, last point. So in Mahabharata, there is a verse, Kshetrani hisha sarirani bhijam chapi shubha shubhe tani vetti sa yogatma tata kshetragna uchyate. So it means Krishna knows both the bodies, in this case, the Kaurava's body, Pandava's body, you can say. And the Atma is within the bodies, he also knows, and he knows the good karma and the bad karma, but he's not influenced by that. So therefore, he's called the knower of all fields. So Vishnu Sahasranam is that, it's like Kauravas did this and the Pandavas did this. Kauravas lost, that's not the point. Pandavas won, that's not the point. Krishna is the point. So that's why it's the spiritual essence. Okay. So yogo yoga vidhamneta pradhana purusheshwaraha. So yoga means, what is yoga? Yoga is union with God. Somebody who's trying to unite with God, right? Yoga. So this is again like a sandhi thing which comes like that. Yoga vidham. So yoga means he's the shelter of that kind of, what do you call, samadhi. This is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. He says samadhi. Let me see how I concluded here in this. In the bookmark. Okay. I mean, see, I did research of different commentaries. When I wrote this book, I searched Madhvacharya commentary, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, everything, and tried to make sense in the prayer. So what I have written here is, he is the auspicious reservoir of all yogic perfection. and success in yoga practice depends upon him. I like that translation. I took it from 2-3 different places and combined it. It's Banu Maharaj, Baladev Vidyabhushan. Let's see what else it says here. Yoga Vidam Neta. Yeah, that's what it says here. Yoga means Krishna is the auspicious reservoir of all yogic perfection, and the success of that depends on him. So Yoga Vidam. Yoga means Yogo means that he's reservoir. He's a reservoir of that perfection. Prabhupada sometimes gives word by word translation is there, but then Prabhupada translates it to make it more understandable, right? So here for us, it means, literal meaning means he's auspicious shelter of samadhi. But the translation to open it up, it means, what does it mean, samadhi and all? He's auspicious reservoir of yogic perfection. And success of yoga depends upon him only. Then, yoga vidham neta means he awards that perfection to those who are advanced in yoga. Neta means leader, okay? So he's the leader of those who are very good in performing yoga. He's a leader, and yoga vidhatma neta. Yoga vidhatma neta means he will award that samadhi stage of samadhi to those who practice yoga, which basically means in anything you do, any job you do, any skill you want, let's say you're an artist, you're an interior designer, you're an architect, and you're studying it. So Krishna is that person. Like he says in Gita, he is the ability of man. So he is the one who actually can give you ideas and skills and make it a success. So sometimes, have you seen some artists are so good singers or so good artists? They do such a great job, but then it doesn't become great success. Have you noticed sometimes some people's artwork never becomes super famous? Is there. So their ability to create something beautiful is Krishna. But see, yoga vidhatma neta. So means even that success is dependent upon Krishna. The success of that skill is also dependent upon Krishna. So anytime we look at somebody and say, wow, so successful, this art piece doesn't even look nice, how they became success, you know that it's Krishna. It's Krishna who's making it. And you may look at some art and say, oh, it's so beautiful, but why it's not famous? Well, because that beauty is Krishna, but he decided not to make that particular thing that kind of a success. It's Krishna. See, this is why Vishnu Sahasranam is the essence of Mahabharata. Because wherever you go, however you eat, you end up with Krishna. This happens because of Krishna. That happens because of Krishna. This happens because this is the quality of Krishna. It happens. No? So it's very... they say now, what is that expression? All road leads to Rome. That principle is only applicable to Krishna in Vishnu Sahasranam. All roads lead to Krishna. Then Pradhana Purusheshwaraha means he is the regulator of the supreme controller of the material universe and all living entities. Okay. So there are 2-3 points here. So one is that he regulates the Prakriti and the Jiva. Means whenever a situation is happening and you're wondering why things are not going my way. Okay, whenever you have that question, I don't think any of you have, it's more my problem. You may never have had it. I'm being sarcastic, obviously. Pradhana Purusheshwaraha means when we wonder why circumstances are not going according to my plan, why the Pradhana Purusheshwaraha, why the Pradhana, why the ambience is not how I would like. Well, because he is the regulator. Remember, situation is not going my way. Why? Because he is the Pradhana Purusheshwara, not me. We are not Pradhana Purusheshwari. He is Pradhana Purusheshwara. So you can't regulate people. You can't change the jiva. So here it is said he not only regulates the Prakriti, but he also regulates the jiva. So next thing is like, why this person is speaking like this? Why they're not behaving in ways that is pleasing to me? because the Paramatma in their heart is giving them the permission and regulating that to happen. So there is no chance. See, that's why the theory of chance is a big zero. When you see Vishnu Sahasranam, every situation, Krishna's name is there. People are not behaving as I want. Oh, Pradhana Purusheshwara. Situation is not how I want. Pradhana Purusheshwara. Remember, you are not Pradhana Purusheshwari. He is. Then we have Rajeshwari here, but he's the Pradhana Purusheshwara. Okay. You know, I've heard that. Sorry, this is completely random comment. Okay, not about Vishnu Sahasranam. Anybody who has name Ishwari in their name, especially female, they're quite strong personalities. Like, you know, they're loud and dominating because they have Ishwari, na? So like Rajeshwari. So I have noticed I have a lot of friends whenever, because name is also vibration. Every name we get, we have a certain vibration to us. So maybe Rajeshwari Radhika Mataji, before she took initiation, she was more mild and docile. And after she got initiation, she became more like, hello, here I am. Anyway, it's an observation. People, when they have the name Ishwari, especially in the end, you come Radhika, so I think that it softens in your case. Your name ends with Radhika and not with Ishwari. Whenever people are like Maya Pureshwari or, you know, something Ishwari, you observe them, they just somehow have a little bit more of controlling tendency because it's the vibration of that name. There's a tendency to want to like dominate and not control like that. Anyway, this is a random comment. Okay, Rajeshwari agrees. Thank you. Yogo Yoga Vidamneta Pradhana Purusheshwaraha. Oh, the next is Narasimha Vapu. Means, oh, look at the connection. So beautiful. See, Krishna, all these two things comes here, right? He gives you the ability. He also gives you the success. He controls the Prakriti and he also controls the Jiva, the regulator, right? By the way, remember when it says Pradhana Purusheshwara, don't discount yourself. You are most important. You're unique. So Krishna has given you unique abilities. He's regulating your desires, your samskaras. If you have a desire, I want to really learn to sing very nicely. Don't ignore that. That's also Krishna only, Pradhana Purusheshwara, pushing you to do that. Okay? So it's not only about others, also about you. When you're inspired with something, it's because of Pradhana Purusheshwara only. Next is Narasimha Vapu, means see the combination, how it comes, that and this and that. And here is Narasimha Vapu. He has the body of a man and a lion combined. Means even though he has appeared in the half man, half lion incarnation, look at this. Narasimha Vapu. Even though he appeared in half man, half lion, he's most handsome. Shriman. Shriman means incomparable in beauty. He's so opulent. So Narasimha Vapu, Shriman. So he's, yeah, it's like a unconventional avatar, like half man, half lion. Oh, I have the picture and I have to show you. So I collected some pictures of AI Nrsingadev. Let me just show you a couple. This would, it's a little bit Ghora. Let me find the one. He looks super handsome. I mean, this is, whatever you say, this is handsome. So I'm going to show you this one.
Mataji, that picture also, no? I think some ISKCON devotee only drew it, that Nrsingadev and Hiranyakasipu. That also, Nrsingadev looks so handsome, no? Like when Hiranyakasipu is jumping to fight against Nrsingadev. That is also so handsome.
I don't know what, is the screen share happening or not?
It is like a coming, but it went.
Let me try again. Sometime I don't know why it doesn't immediately show up. Okay, now look at
coming. Oh.
So gorgeous. Gorgeous. Look at his Nakham, Adbhuta Shringam. Look at his diamond-shaped teeth. Look at his eyes, coppery red eyes. Look at that hair. Look at those muscles. So Narasimha Vapu. From tomorrow when we read that, remember this beautiful half man, half lion, but Shriman. Most handsome.
Mataji, share this picture. I'll save it. Yes.
Okay. Extremely handsome. Shriman means extremely handsome. Then Keshava Purushottama. So he is, even though he is half man, half lion, he is most handsome. He is the father of Brahma and Shiva, and he is also the supreme person. So see, it's poetry. That's why Snehavati, this poetic tune of Vishnu Sahasranam keeps coming to you because it's poetry. Yoga Neta Pradhana Purusheshwaraha Narasimha Vapu Shriman Keshava Purushottamaha. So it's poetry. See, poetry. Oh, for those of you who are musically inclined, I had some attempts of singing these verses and have some beautiful music like that. But it's not my thing, I guess. Maybe some of you could do that in the future. All right. So is that clear? So Baladev Vidyabhushan, he quotes something about the name Keshava. Let me quote that, okay? He says, he quotes Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva explains what Keshava means. He says, Kaiti Brahmano Nama Ishoham Sarvadehinam Avam Tavanga Sambhuta Tasvat Keshava Nama Bhak. Ka is the name of Brahma. And I means Shiva. I'm known as Isha because I am master of all living entities who reside in material bodies. See, that's in this material world, Durga Devi is the fort. Remember Durga, she's the fort. And Mahadev is a lord of these entities also, of jivas of this world. And so, oh Lord Krishna, because we were born from your body, you are therefore known as Keshava, the father of Brahma and Shiva. Okay, Ka is Brahma and Isha is Shiva. Keshava. So Lord Krishna is known for as Purushottama because he is the best of all persons, including both conditioned and liberated souls. The Lord himself has explained the meaning of this name in Bhagavad Gita. Yasmat ksharamati toham aksharat apichottamaha atosmin loka vedecha pratita purushottama. Because I am transcendental beyond both the fallible and infallible, and because I'm the greatest, I'm celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as that supreme person. Okay, nice. Nice how, see why we need the acharyas to bring, Sri Baladev Vidyabhushan is bringing what Lord Shiva is saying. One thing is to know, okay, Shava also means, he also killed Keshi demon, right? So we may connect that Keshava. And also Kesh means hair. So Keshava means one who has long, lustrous black hair. But here, it's again, you see the spiritual purposes of things. Here it brings a higher thing that he's a father of Brahma and Shiva, and therefore he's Keshava. K is Ka. Ka is Brahma, and Isha is Shiva, and so Keshava also means father of Brahma and Shiva. We will never know this without acharyas. We'll only speculate. But when acharyas reveal to us, we say, oh, wow, Keshava also means this. All right. It's a little tedious here. I'm like referring to three books. But better 3 books than no books. Never complain about having more. And the screen, actually 4, because I have to refer to the computer also. Okay, this is a beautiful one. Sarva Sharva Shivastanur Bhutadir Nidiravyaya Sambhavo Bhavano Bharta Prabhava Prabhurishvara. Actually, if you learn these verses in a like a tune, like Sarva Sharva Shivastanur Bhuta Nidiravyaya Sambhavo Bhavano Bharta Prabhavah Prabhurishwarah, it'll be easy for you to learn. Because if it with the tune, because it's made like that, it flows easily. Especially your own nakshatra verses, learn in the tune. It will be very easy. Okay, let's see if there's any. Please unmute and ask if you have any questions, because I'm not planning to always look at the chat. Okay, so
Mataji,
picture.
I have one question.
Oh, 1 minute. Sorry, I'm just looking at the pictures. Nasima is so cute. And then there's another picture here. Oh, Shiva and Brahma father. Beautiful. Hey, Rajeshwari Radhika Mataji, you really need to put them in a nice folder, and we should have a presentation. And we go over it. And this one is, last one is also Keshava, is it? Or Shriman? Purushottama. Okay, yeah, Purushottama. Yes, Snehavati, go ahead.
Mataji, like when you started from the first one, right? So it's all about Krishna, and I was feeling like as if I am listening to, Bhagavad Gita. So it feels like that, right? Because Bhagavad Gita also explains about Krishna. So my question is that why it is, I don't know whether it's a silly question or what, why it is not called like Krishna Sahasranam? Why it is like Vishnu Sahasranam? Is there any reason, or it's just like that? Like it's all about Krishna, right? I'm not feeling like hearing about anyone else, only about Krishna. So
Yeah,
why the name?
it is Krishna. See, when we do Vrindaya Tulsi Devyaya Priyaya Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavate Namo Namaha. We also do Vrindaya Tulsi Devyaya Priyaya Keshavasya Cha Vishnu Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavate Namo Namaha. It's the same. Vishnu, Krishna is the same. Krishna is only Vishnu, Vishnu is only Krishna. This is the simplest explanation. And other explanations are, see, Krishna has unlimited names. I mean, Krishna also comes in Vishnu Sahasranam, Krishna also comes, every name comes. But why it's called Vishnu Sahasranam? My answer is, why not? Why not? It's the same. Krishna and Vishnu is the same. There's no difference. But there are other scholars, in a devotional, spiritual sense, there's no difference is the answer, and why not is the answer. But then the scholars go into, see, Vishnu Sahasranama. So it would still be, even if you say Krishna Sahasranama, it would have the same meaning. But Sahasranama, and like, for example, in Kannada, say Savillada Nama. Savu also means death. So Sahasranama means that which doesn't have death. So even for Krishna Sahasranama, it could have still been the same, but it means eternal. It means, untouched by matter. And probably, I don't know if Bhishma called it Vishnu Sahasranam. I don't know. It's just 1,000 names of Krishna, 1,000 names of Vishnu. That's how it is known as. I wouldn't I would just say it's the same. Vishnu, whether it's Vishnu Bhakti Pradadevi or Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi, is the same. There is no difference.
Oh, so we don't get like direct explanation for this, right? I just wanted to know if there is any explanation behind. Till now, haven't got
Not
any.
according to how I know, no.
Okay, yes.
Bhishma knew that Krishna is Vishnu, right? Many people knew that Krishna is Vishnu. Narayan, they knew. In fact, Krishna's Sena was Narayani Sena, right? It could have also been Narayana Sahasranam. It could have been Govinda there are other Sahasranamas. There are many. But this particular Vishnu Sahasranam is known to be very popular and famous in Mahabharata. I can look into it, but I never had, like you said, I also never had any conflict. For me, these are the names of Krishna, and that's it. Maybe because in the first verse, Vishnu
conflict, just a curiosity.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Maybe because in the first verse, Vishnu comes, maybe that's Vishnu Sahasranam.
Mataji, there is. I heard that Vishnu has like 4 quality less than Krishna, like that rasa. Like I don't remember the 4 qualities, but the rasa is there. Like Like Vishnu is like a maintainer and like that kind of mood. He's
But
not performing
that is
leelas.
called Mahavishnu, like that. But here in Vishnu Sahasranam, Vishnu only means Krishna Vishnu. It doesn't mean that Vishnu. This
Clarifying the strategy what she was talking about. So it's more, it's the same actually. It's just a mood. Like the Sri Sampradaya people, they like more of that, that worshipping and
they're more Narayan mood, right? So they
that.
will see when I'm reading Vishnu Sahasranam, every name I'm thinking of Krishna only. Like you see, look at
Yeah,
Meaning.
when you are sharing also, we are feeling about Krishna only. Like there is no, we
Yeah.
are not getting any other reflection.
And Rajeshwari Radhika Mataji, the first photo she sent was Bhagavad Gita Vishwarupa only. That's Krishna only. See, even that. So even there we didn't get Vishnu, it's Krishna only. So I think like for some people who think of him as Narayan, they'll think this is all Narayana's names. No, somebody who's fond of Krishna in the 2-arm form will think it's Krishna. Somebody who's attracted to Vishnu's 4-arm form, they'll see him as Vishnu, like that.
Like from the Vedas, we can take out as we perceive.
Exactly. But in this case, Vishnu is 100. See, in Vishnu Sahasranam, every name is 100%. It's not like 4 qualities less or 3 qualities less, because this is exactly directly names of Krishna and there's no this difference.
Yeah, the Keshava is there, Narsimha is there.
Everything is there. Okay. Next. So this verse, this is also
actually the every word has a different picture, Mataji. I mean, it's not look if you see the one verse, one picture, it's not suits actually. Every word.
Very true, Mataji. Very true. Yeah, I was also thinking the same.
That's why I shared the 3 pictures. Like starting that is Yogi Narsimha, like kind of. So that's Yogi Narsimha.
Please do your research about your own shloka, okay? Your own shloka, every word, find a picture. Okay, let's move on. Sarva Sharva Shivasthanur Bhutadir. Maybe I should say it, right? Sarva Sharva Shivasthanur means Krishna is present. Sarva means what? All, right? Everywhere. Everywhere. And so, everywhere, everything. So, Krishna is present everywhere, and therefore, he is everything. This is what means Sarva. Krishna is present everywhere, and therefore, he is everything. Again, you know what? Each of this name we can give a class, right? We can quote verses from Gita. We can go to Srimad Bhagavatam. We can say how Narsimhadev appeared. Like this Sarva Sharva Shiva is like Narsimhadev also. When Hiranyakashipu asks him, where is your Lord? Where is he? Is he here? Is he there? And Prahlad says, Vasauyati sarvatra tasmat stambena drishyate. When Hiranyakashipu is asking, is he here in this pillar? And Prahlad Maharaj is like, Vasoyam Sarvatra. He's everywhere. His Vasa means residence. Vasauyati Sarvatra. He's residing everywhere. If you ask me, where is he? What can I say? He's everywhere, Prahlad replies. And then Tasmat Stambena Drishyate. But since you want him to be present in the pillar, yes, of course, he's also in the pillar. So Sarva can also refer to Narsimha Leela, Narsimha pastime. And then Kamsa, when he was getting delusions, right? He would see Krishna everywhere. He would see Krishna everywhere. So it's not delusion. It's true because Krishna is everywhere. Like that. And Shabri also, she would like every day think, oh, Krishna, Rama is here. Rama is here. Of course, she was waiting for Krishna because anyway, the long story short, but she was waiting for him to come. Even Bakula Devi in Balaji pastimes, Bakula Devi is Yashoda. So she was also waiting for Krishna, and so she would see Krishna often. So we'll cover this verse for today, and then I want to do at least 4. I don't want to end with odd number. I want to do even numbers. So Krishna is present everywhere, and therefore he's everything. And next is Sharva. This is Sarva. Sarva means everywhere and everything. Sharva means he's supremely beneficial. Sharva means supremely beneficial. And therefore, he's also most auspicious. Shiva means auspicious. So he's supremely beneficial and he's the most auspicious. Shiva is most auspicious. The word Shiva means most auspicious. So he's Sharva Shiva. Sarva, everywhere. Sharva, very beneficial. Shiva, most auspicious. Then Sthanu means he's very merciful. Very merciful. Sthanu. And he is creator of all living entities. Bhuta Adi. See, there's a Sandhi there also again. Bhuta means the living entities. Adhir means he's a creator. He's the boss. He's the creator and the maker of all the living entities. Bhutadi. Next is Bhutadir. Nidhi Ravyayaha. Nidhi means, right? He's a treasure and he gives happiness to everybody. And again, see the word Avyaya comes here. Avyaya. Nidhir Avyaya. Again, it comes there. And in this case, it also means imperishable. Because Nidhir came, Sanskrit is like that. Depending on what word is before, the same word Avyaya in the previous case meant that he never disappears. And in this case, Avyaya means that it's imperishable. So he's that kind of a treasure who brings happiness to all of us, who's imperishable. He never leaves. It's like the happiness which never finishes. But it's the similar meaning. You can see Sanskrit is very rich. It's not like English. Have and there's the same thing, have and have. No, but in Sanskrit, it's like, oh, Avyaya. He never leaves. He never leaves. He never disappears was Avyaya. And in this case, it's like Nidhir Avyaya. Means it's a treasure. It's the treasure of happiness, which is never imperishable. It's never destroyed. Then, Sambhavo Bhavano Bharta. Sambhava means he descends to this material world in order to protect us. Sambhava means he comes to protect us. And therefore he comes. Ksheerabdi Shayana. Hare Ninage. Bekaiteno Gokulada Benne. Sakagalillave Halmusara Kadale. Natakayetake. Ninage Krishna Ksheerabdi Shayana. He's very happily situated in the spiritual world, full ocean of yogurt, ocean of milk, ocean of butter. He owns all that in spiritual Kshira Sagara. He owns, but he gave that all up and he came to steal little butter from the houses of gopis. So why he comes? He doesn't come for little handful of butter. He comes to churn our hearts. And when our hearts are churned, then the butter-like devotion will come out. So he comes to steal that devotion. So he comes as Sambhava. Then he's the maintainer of the devotees, Bharta. And he's the origin of everything, Prabhava. What does he maintain, right? What does he maintain? Main thing is he maintains our devotion. He'll make sure to give us experiences that will churn our emotion and devotion. And then it says, he is a supreme master who can perform any feat impossible to be performed by Brahma or anyone else. Prabhu means, ultimate master. And he's Ishvara, supreme controller of all living entities. So in his commentary, Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan quotes Arjuna's explanation of how Krishna is everything. Bhagavad Gita 11:40. Sarvam samapnosi tatosi sarvam. Oh Krishna, you are all pervading and thus you are everything. So Baladev Vidyabhushan is comparing this verse with Bhagavad Gita 11:40. Lord Krishna's appearance within this material world to protect the devotees is explained by the Lord himself. Anybody can guess what is that verse? Famous verse. Chapter 4. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So in order to deliver the pious and annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish principles of religion, I advent myself millennium after millennium. So the killing of Hiranyakashipu and protection of the Pandavas by different tactics may be cited as examples of these purposes of the Lord. This is Baladev Vidyabhushan. Let's see if I left out anything else. I mean, in the books that we find, there's only 1 or 2 word meaning. Whenever I'm adding some song or some other thing, it's connecting directly to it. So I'm saying it. In the book, it just says like, he's the most auspicious. He manifests to the devotees, like that. It doesn't give like long description except when he comments. Vidyabhushana, when he comments, then he gives all this Gita and everything. Prabhava, what it said here, Prabhava. That's interesting. There are two meanings here. One place it says Prabhava means he's the origin of everything. Another place it says he gives spiritual bodies to the devotees in a remarkable way. And Prabhu here says master of everything. In another place it says he performs feats impossible for others. I mean, that's connected, but it's more specific in some cases. This is so nice. The depth. Okay, so today these 4 verses we have covered. We couldn't get to verse number 8 or where somebody's was verse number 8 or some 8, right? Yeah, that. But she's not here, I guess. Okay. Any comments? Any questions? So now you know the 4 verses meaning. So when we are reading it, all these pictures should come to you and these qualities.
So Mataji, I have one question. You said like whatever Rajeshwari Mataji is sending the pictures, I'm saving it. So is there any, can you give me some suggestion how to make the file? Like only the pictures, some verses, or what should I
You
do?
have PowerPoint?
Sorry?
Do you have PowerPoint?
Yeah, I have.
So go to PowerPoint, take one of this picture, go to this link of this verses, take that verse, put it on it and save that image with the verse and that picture.
Okay, image and the first down.
Mataji, second last is not correct. Actually, it is for the next verse, fifth verse, the Aditya.
Say that again. I couldn't.
Yeah, I couldn't hear.
Not appropriate for the fourth. So it is appropriate for the 5th verse.
Oh, the picture.
The last
Yeah,
picture, Mataji.
Yeah, I thought. Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Oh, because it says Aditya. Okay, Aditya.
Yeah,
Pushkar.
so I just Google that picture.
I mean, just one picture just to kind of give us a little bit of memory, like to trigger the memory that, oh, it's that. Obviously, every name is a picture, obviously, but still.
Yeah, to find. No expert to portray the Vishnu Shastrana.
Yeah, I was also thinking like each and every word you need to have one picture. Like it's like you cannot give one picture for the whole, verse. Like it's really difficult. It is like unable to depict the whole verse.
I mean, if we understand this, it's even much easier to get rid of our karma and do things because, we go into the depth of the meaning. Immediately, like when you understand this point here about, which was that? Bhutatma Paramatma, which was that one which I was saying, Kshetragnokshara, yeah, Kshetragnokshara. As soon as situations are happening in a way, immediately, if we remember this, we'll be immediately peaceful. We won't get angry. We won't get disappointed by situation. So immediately all that karma of anger, frustration will get dissolved. So understanding is so powerful.
Yeah, after
it's really amazing.
More aware of my anger. I won't say. It is not reduced, but I am aware that, no, I'm gonna getting angry.
Kshetragnokshara, not Kshetragnokshara Ishwari.
I will never forget this. How my Guru Maharaj explained me the meaning and how you revealed it.
I mean, like, actually this Kshetragnokshara, and then this is only for Rajeshwari Radhika. This is so Kshetragnokshara. Whenever you get upset, then you should remember, I am not Rajeshwari. He is Rajeshwara. He is Kshetragnokshara. I am only Dasi, so it's like a remembrance.
No, actually, we have to remember the full name, Rajeshwari Radhika Dasi.
Dasi, you should not forget that.
Dasi is the most important. It's okay.
What about that Ka Mataji, like Rajeshwari Radhika Mataji? For me also it is like Gandharvi Ka. Is there any meaning for that also Ka? To end the name with Ka?
Both your names end, Radhika is feminine, so it ends with the feminine name. It's sweet. It's a representation of sweetness. But when it ends with a masculine name, like my name ends with masculine, it ends with Govinda. So I'm Radha Govinda, Sri Radha Govinda Dasi. So it's not ending with the feminine. So there is more an element of whatever power or strength. So when it ends with Priya, Sakhi, Radhika, no, then there is an element of sweetness there.
These things influence us, Mataji, even the name.
Of course.
Wow. So when we change our name, so our the influence also change, huh? Sometimes people
Yeah,
change
when you get your initiated name, your karma also changes. You know how many celebrities change their name to make it adjustable to their numerology and their fame change?
Oh, I just thought they changed it just to make it cool, you know.
They change for numerology purpose. And then because of the vibration changes, everything is about sound vibration in this world.
Yes, right.
How you are called,
Wow.
that energy will come back. It's like an echo.
You know,
Yeah.
Mataji, like I remember when, sorry, Radhika Mataji, Radhika Mataji, I interrupted you. You wanted to say something? Sorry?
Yes, Madhuri, go ahead.
I wanted to say, like, before initiation also, I got one name from Sneha. They gave me the name Sneha in temple. But before that, the original name I had by birth, I used to ask people, you know, even my parents, what is the meaning of that? Nobody knew. So I was so upset with my name. I used to think, like, when I'll become, you know, I'll grown up, first thing in my life I'll do that, I'll change my name. And the day I came to temple for the first time, the devotees, first thing they did to me, they said, oh, we need to give you a name, you know. So they gave me the name. It was like amazing.
What was your
I'm
name?
thinking, sorry, what is it?
What was your name?
I don't know whether I should say or not. So can I say what is it?
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, my name is Sahnaz, and nobody knows its meaning. I mean, they just know that some celebrity's name is Sahnaz. They used to tell me. I was like, why I need to bother about it? Some Sahnaz Hussain is there, no? Some what is a beautician or something.
Yeah,
Because my sister's name is Daisy, and I think it represents some flower. There is a flower, and I used to ask, why did you give me that name if you don't even know the meaning?
Actually, many people do that. Like, you know, they call people Alu Ghosh, Kalu Ghosh.
Aloo Ghosh.
You know, like how they name your son. I want to name my child Potato, you know. I don't know how they do it. Actually, in astrology, every person born, you have a specific letter. And then, you know, with that letter, you give the name, then the vibration will be very auspicious and like that.
Yeah,
But
for me also, they follow something like that only. Just the first letter. Some I think it was Sa, but I don't know why they end up giving. I think they didn't get any name or something like that. So it's like funny, very funny.
Adiji, but in like my town, they said that if you got that your astrological alphabet for the baby, you should not keep that name from that alphabet. You choose some other alphabet. But my like it is year. So in my horoscope, they wrote name. But my afterwards, he said that you should not keep this name. You should keep another name. So he gave
call that name. You should
Yeah.
keep it, you shouldn't call it. Yeah, they say you should keep 5 names. One is like a secret name. One is the name that mother should call you. There are these, you know, they do these namkaran things, you know, there are 5 names they give you. Everybody gives 5 names.
Okay.
Anyway, you see, even human beings, we get 5 names. What to speak of Supreme Lord? Unlimited names.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get names like Alu Ghosh, Kalu Ghosh. He gets Kshetra Gnokshara, Bhuta Bhavya Bhavannatha. Those are the names. Akhilanda Koti Brahmanda Nayaka. These kind of names Krishna gets.
Krishna.
If somebody has intelligence of potato, what else name can you give, right?
Stuffed potato.
Stuffed potato.
All the time, just like we are hearing about Vishnu Sahasranam and we are getting some images, right? Some vision. Now the moment you said stuffed potato, what kind of vision will have about that person? So it's like the mind is stuffed, the
I
brain
mean,
is stuffed. Like
imagine,
we cannot think.
imagine, calling, I mean,
Yeah.
in South India, they call the child Rock, Scissor, some names like
Is
that.
it true? Are you joking or seriously they give this kind of?
See, some of these things are traditional. For example, one of the names of my grandfather was Subbanna, something like that. That one is not so bad. But sometimes they call Gundanna. Gundu means stone, like a rock. So they call rock because, like, I think my great grandmother, she lost many children or something like that. Story is there. So when a woman goes through many miscarriages, some drishti, something is there. So they take like a mannat from specific deity, and they say if this child will survive, then we will name. You know what name they have in South India? Tippesha. Tippe means garbage. They name the child garbage because to save the child, like that. There is some things like that. So when child keeps dying or something, then they keep a name to not let the child get that energy and like that. Anyway, Gundanna is like rock, so it's like it's harder to penetrate that energy or something. Names, anyway, the point is everything has a meaning, my dear friends. Numbers, names, there is an affiliation, our birth date also. You add all the numbers of your birth date together, that planet will be very strong in your chart. Your birth date itself, if you're born on the 3rd, like number 3. So everything is vibration. Every number has a specific meaning, has a specific purpose. Every name has a certain vibration. So everything has meaning. Nothing is pointless. Nothing is meaningless.